Hey, I'm Cali Rodi, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live, so check it out.
All right, Callie, new
Hello.
single. Hello, hello, hello. New single. You're taking me back to my roots, which is like the pop punk days. Um, let's talk a little bit about Blink-182 and you. Actually, is it and you or plus you? Like
Thank
how
you. But I was
and
trying to
you?
be like, cool with the plus and like, you
I
know.
like it. I like it regardless. But congratulations with this new track. And talk to me like what really kickstarted the idea of starting to work on this single? Like, was there a specific like lyric or something that you kind of went through that kind of inspired it? And then, what is it about Blink 182 that you chose to put it in the name?
I mean, it's so crazy because I'm gonna sound like some kind of serial dater when I kind of explain this, but there's just something about Blink 182 that like every guy I'd ever dated from like 8th grade on was like obsessed with. And so it just like kind of worked itself into every relationship I was in. Like, I don't know how. And being, in high school, I was always like trying to listen to the same music as whoever I was trying to like impress at the time. And then I just like genuinely started to love the band and I like would dye my hair black and like try and like wear dark eyeliner and like, I don't even know. Like I was just, I guess it became a part of me just by like trying to, you know, impress the boys. But I actually wrote this song a few years ago, like 2016, and um my one of my like best friends and closest collaborators and I were just in an Airbnb in LA, and we had writing sessions all week and we were exhausted. And LA is a very track based city, writing songs to like crazy pop tracks, which I love. But I had my guitar with me, and there's just something about sitting down with someone that who knows everything about your life and just like writing about it. And we were kind of just talking about being like teenagers, like in a basement, like listening to Blink 182 and just talking about guys we dated in the past. And I was also going through a breakup at the time, which was like so dramatic and annoying. But once again, Blink 182 was like woven in there. And, Tom DeLonge was one of my like first crushes too. So, and this was like in 2016. So like they had a new lead singer, and I was just like, oh, like obviously we love them no matter what, but like it's just not the same as when he was the lead singer. And like it was like all these different kind of scenarios that we were like talking about. And every time I write a song, I like to have a concept or like a title before I write. And
Oh,
this one just kind of like fell out of the sky, which doesn't really happen a lot for me. And we were kind of writing it kind of like the rappiness that it is and just playing it on guitar. And then we were like, I miss the Blink 182. And then we were like, wait a second, what if we kind of like also say like something about their song I miss you without like ripping it off, but like just alluding to a little bit. Like, so once we like combined those two thoughts, we were like, oh, this all makes so much sense now. And the song just like really fell out of the sky. And I usually am like the queen of rewriting things, and I'm never happy. I'm always rewriting lyrics, and this one has stayed intact for like 4 years, and it's finally it's finally here. So yeah, that's the
4 years,
story.
that's a long time to kind of hold this song. Why did you choose to hold it for so long?
I don't know. Like I don't know. There's always this thing, I guess probably a lot of artists have this of like you kind of want to save your best songs for like whatever you think is the moment or the right time. And this year I was like, screw like the right time. Like I have so many songs I'm just sitting on. And this is kind of the first of that batch that I'm releasing into the world. And it feels so good to just have it out. I've been like teasing it on Instagram forever, and people are probably like, I'm sick of hearing Instagram clips. Can we please just hear the song? So finally it's here.
So when you went into the studio to record this, I noticed that you worked with Aaron Z, which is like known more in like hip hop
Yeah.
than anything else. So why did you feel like he was the appropriate like fit for this track?
We worked on a song, another one that's probably going to come out after this or on an EP or something in the new year, but I just feel like he kind of got my sound, I guess, and it's kind of like I feel like there's a lot of hip hop and like pop punk like similarities. Like I feel like some of the worlds like intertwine a lot nowadays. And he wasn't afraid of a lot of like pop producers these days, I feel like are afraid of guitars and they're afraid of like not perfect structure, like, you know, and so he kind of just like let me be free and have the song have it's kind of like the song is a girl and the production is the outfit or like the dress, like it wasn't like stepping on each other's toes, which I really liked. It let the song breathe a little bit.
And at the same time, you've been kind of working with Emily Wright for some time. She's been like your vocal producer for a while. Over the years, which is kind of cool because she's for those that don't know, like she's like a pop queen. Like she's worked with a lot of the big names, from Katy Perry to Britney to Kesha. Over the years of collaborating with her, like how has she kind of challenged you, and how have you become a better singer?
Oh wow. Yeah, it'll be like I'm in the vocal booth on take like 100 and she's like, nope, more. And it just like I've learned so much from her as an artist. She, you know, she kind of signed me to a development deal, so she has like really hands-on in my artist career, and she vocal produces everything. And I just feel like before, you know, when you're doing writing sessions with different producers, you're kind of in their world, in their element, and we could be working together for the first time. And so they wouldn't know my voice and they wouldn't know like what I can do, what I'm comfortable with, or like it sometimes you have an off day and you're like, no, I promise I can sing in this key. And she really just like makes my true voice come out more than anyone else can, because I feel like the whispering, the mumbling, it's all like super in right now. And I'm like not very good at that type of singing. I like grew up listening to like Haley Williams and like people like, and I'm like, I want to belt and put all my emotion into this. So she is good at balancing kind of those two. And I like remember the first time I got an email from my publisher at the time being like, do you want to work with Emily Wright? I was like, oh my gosh, do I? I was like, this creepy, like, I remember following her on Twitter, like off and on again, like, you know, the follow and the unfollow, like hoping she'll notice me in high school. And it like never worked, obviously, until we like met in person. But I, you know, read her name in liner notes and like just I always used to memorize liner notes, and I just like I know that name. And there was this band in who went to my high school. They're called the Somerset. They're like a big, you know, Warped Tour band in that time. And like they were like the band in my school that like made it, you know, like they were massive. And so Brian, the lead singer, and Emily worked on some of their records together. So I had also seen her on his Instagram posts and like all this stuff. And I just remember being like, you know, they were the ones that like made it. And I was like, well, if they can make it, then like it was like really inspiring. So it was like cool, like a full circle moment when like we started working together too. And now like Brian and I are will like come and go from the studio at the same time. And it's just like, how did two kids from Cave Creek, Arizona, like we're now in LA, like we're doing it. Like it's so cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad he's still doing music. I haven't heard him in a while.
They're
So
writing a musical and it's crazy. It's so good.
that's
So
nuts.
yeah.
That's nuts. But I'm not surprised because, you know, with the kind of voice that he has, he can pull a musical like anytime he wants.
Right.
so so the fact that like you have been inspired since high school because you kind of watch uh, Brian and his band kind of grow up and build themselves and create themselves, how does that inspire you now that you are pursuing your music and now you know you are working with these big names, you're being, you know, you're doing shows with other like great pop artists, and you know you even have people like Jack from All Time Low following you, like how does that how, you know, how do you feel now about your artistry, and how do all those like relationships kind of help you build it?
I think it's been like a really like long journey of like figuring out who I am as an artist and like what I want to say. And you know, I lived in Nashville before I moved to LA, and it's like a totally different world there where it's like all about the song and the lyric. And like LA, it's very much like your Instagram. And it's just like you meet so many more people here organically. Whereas in Nashville, I was always having to like fly here and do the thing. But I mean, there's been so many of my friends. Like I remember the first few months that I like lived in Nashville, I would have friends that were like country artists. And we would have like demo nights. And at the time, like I wasn't even like doing any demos. I was just like writing stuff on my guitar. And I just remember thinking that it was the coolest thing ever that they had like songs produced that they like wrote that day. Like that was such a crazy concept. And then some of them took off. And it's just like, I feel like everyone's journey is different. But when you see people that you know and love, like having success and like popping off and like shining, it's just like super inspiring. And like to have role models and to have friends, like I don't know, it's just it's cool to have a support system like that, I think. And everyone was warning me like when you move to LA it's going to be so isolating, people are so cold, and like I really haven't found that to be true at all. So yeah, I love the people here. And it's from they're all in different worlds, which is cool too, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure that kind of inspires you when you're creating your own music.
Oh, definitely. Like, and hearing their feedback and being able to send people like of that level, like songs, and just being like, what do you think of this? Like, before you potentially put it out and risk everyone hating it, you get good like criticism and feedback, or like, yes, this part's sick. Like, I don't know. It's good vibes all around.
That's good. That's good. So now that Blink 182 and You is out, what else are the plans for you as far as music goes? I know you were saying like eventually you want to release an EP, but can we expect the single to kind of just live for a while before you even consider new music, or are you like already ready to kind of release a body of work?
I feel like I've been ready for so long. So I'm probably gonna do a few more singles, hopefully like a collab or two, and but I basically have. I'm trying to narrow down because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do an EP, and then I look at my like song list, and it's like 10 songs deep, and I'm like, okay, like we're gonna have to maybe divide these into two. But there are certain songs that just kind of live together for me, and I kind of want them all to be released at the same time. And I started this new video series called Plans, and it's parking lot acoustic night sessions. And Emily and our friends Rachel and Tim, Tim's actually Katy Perry's videographer, which is like crazy. And we go to these random, and she's like queen to me. We go to these random parking lots that we find. We'll like be driving any given day and just be like, that's a great parking lot. And we like take pictures and send it to each other. And it's been fun to experiment with like different covers and stripping down my songs. And we've only released one so far. We're filming some more tomorrow, but I'm really excited about that too, because I think now more than ever, like content and visuals are so important, and I want to be doing more of that as well. So new videos, new music. I'm just like ready to go.
And lastly, what would happen if Blink-182 or even just Tom DeLonge listened to this track and found out about it on the internet?
I don't even know. I don't know. That would be crazy. I would probably pass out, and I don't know. Let's, from your lips to God's ears, please. Like, I just think that'd be so cool. So I'm definitely gonna like annoy the heck out of them. And just send it to everyone. Like,
Yeah, follow, unfollow, follow, unfollow.
maybe it'll work this time. You never know. So
Right.
that'd be sick.
Well, congratulations, Cali, with the new single. I'm glad that you reached out. I'm glad that now I know you exist and your music exists, because I like your vibe, I like your storytelling, and I love your voice. So thank you again for making this happen.
Thank you so much.